Hey guys, my name is Brittany. I make homemade wine and I am going to show you how to make wine at home. The batch that I am making this go around is strawberry, but the recipe that I'm going to show you, you can use for any kind of fruit wine you want. My next batch is going to be blueberry and blueberry pomegranate. So this recipe is good for any fruit that you want. Blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, pomegranate, muscadines, scuppernons, mango, pineapple, whatever you want. So this is going to be a multi-part series. I'm actually going to film as I'm going because this process does take 2 to 3 months. But at the end I will combine it into one big how-to video. Today's step is pretty simple. I've already prepped my strawberries. I cut them in half, cut the tops off. I froze mine. You do not have to freeze them. If you are using fresh fruit, just skip this step completely. I freeze mine because I don't make wine right whenever I pick my fruit. But also because once it's thawing out, I feel like the fruit is just juicier and sweeter. So that's my reasoning. You don't have to though. So you are going to need a gallon of fruit. I have my gallon of strawberries here. You're going to need distilled water. If you are on any kind of city or municipal water, get distilled or spring water because you don't want the added chemicals that they treat your water with in your wine. You're gonna need sanitizer. I use Star San. This goes such a long way. It only takes a couple of drops diluted with water for your sanitizer. Anything that touches your wine, you need to sanitize it so that you don't get any kind of bacteria in your wine. You'll need a 2-gallon food safe bucket with a lid. And for the next step, you're gonna need an airlock, which is this. This releases the gas that your fermentation releases. We drilled a hole into this lid and put a rubber stopper for our airlock to fit into, and the rubber stoppers came with the airlocks. So they just fit in like this, and whenever you're closing the bucket, all that gas that is released from the alcohol fermentation is going to push through the airlock so that it doesn't like explode. So today's really simple. All I'm going to be doing is thawing out my strawberries. So I'm going to stick them in the bucket. Okay, so I've dumped my strawberries in the bucket. I took a spoon and just kind of crushed them up a little bit so that they would all fit in here and it wasn't just one big block of strawberries. So all we are going to do is take our distilled water, and you are just going to top off these strawberries with the distilled water so that they can thaw. I would say just cover them. So I'll show you in just a second what that looks like. It's about half a gallon. So I'm just going to put that to the side, and then I will show you real quick. You just want it to cover the strawberries. They're just going to thaw. We're going to leave them overnight with the lid on. The airlock serves absolutely no purpose right now other than covering this hole so that nothing gets in your wine. So make sure it is closed tight and sealed. And that side is not sealed. There we go. Okay, so it's sealed. We're gonna wait for this to thaw, and when it thaws, we will come back and I will show you what's next.